How we doing, everybody, and welcome to Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. I'm your host, Trage. It is Thursday, a fantastic Thursday here in the great state of Wisconsin. Weather, there's nothing to complain about right now. The weather has been shaping up A-OK as of late here, talking 70s this weekend. All good stuff happening right now, and well, I gotta say, as of right now, Wisconsin sports are heating up too, right? We got the Bucks, we got the Brewers, a little bit of Packer news coming out of today, so we're gonna touch into a little bit of everything in this episode here. First, I want to get to the Bucks. We saw the Bucks square off with the Magic last night. Got the news yesterday morning there that Giannis Antetokounmpo did undergo an MRI. Everything checks out. His Achilles is intact. Everything's good on that end. So what does that mean for us? Well, that means calf strain there. And it looks like, and what we know is Giannis will be out for the remainder of the regular season. Now, does that stretch? Is that going to be is it the remainder of the regular season? Because those things can be tricky, right? I don't know if anybody out there has strained their calf before, but you strain that, walking is a son of a gun, and it's so hard because he's going to go with at least, a little while here with limited to nothing on that leg. And then all of a sudden he's got to start to work it, and then he's got to get into the flow again, and even then, it still is going to be, and it's going to be one of those things that's here and there. It's going to be one of those hankering kind of things there. It's going to be there, and then it's going to go away, and then it might come back. And how is that going to affect him for the rest of this year for the Bucks? That is going to be the number one concern for the Bucks outside of, just winning basketball games and playing the game. Outside of that, Giannis Antetokounmpo's health right now is definitely number one on that list. So we're watching right now this Bucks team without Giannis. They go and they take on the Magic there. They play the Magic at the Pfizer. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that I don't know. That's going to wrap up the year. Well, not the year at the Pfizer. They will get playoff games there, but the regular season year at the Pfizer there. So Bucks get the win over the Orlando Magic, 117-99. This game, Bucks controlled it from the get-go, outscoring the Magic all the way. A big 37-point second quarter and a 32-point third quarter were the big differences in this one for the Bucks going up against this Magic team. Looking at the box coming out of this game here, you saw guys, if we'll just cover the Magic first, then we'll look at the Bucks there. Banchero for the Magic, he had 20, 18 for Suggs there, and 23 for Cole Anthony coming off the bench there. So good stuff there for the Magic. That's a young team that's slowly putting it together. They're slowly putting it together. I really truthfully do believe at some point here, this Magic team will get over the top. But right now, struggling, especially on the road, 18-22 on the road. So that does not help out their case whatsoever there. Joe Ingles. I did not know Joe Ingles actually went down there to play with Orlando there. So there's basically the box for the Magic in that one. Looking at the Bucks in this one, Bobby Portis gets to start in this game. No Middleton, no Giannis for this one. Had to rely on Bobby to get in there and, do what Bobby does, right? We needed some Bobby action coming off in this starting lineup, and 30 points from Bobby Portis in this one. 14 for 18 from the floor. He was 2 for 2 from downtown, and he had 9 rebounds to go along with that. Also, a big number that I'm looking at, 5 steals. 5 steals for Bobby in this game here. So, good on the defensive end. Something that was lacking for Bobby, he's picking up on. And that's great stuff to see there. Lopez, he has 10 for the Bucks in this one. Pat Bev goes for 13. Another game in that starting lineup for this Bucks team. Damian Lillard goes for 29 in this game. 10 for 19 from the floor. 3 for 8 from downtown. 6 for 7 from the free throw line. And then Malik Beasley wrapped up the starting 5 there for the Bucks. 8 points for Beasley, getting back into the starting rotation in this one. 3 for 9 from the floor and 2 for 8 from downtown. Off the bench, we saw Jay Crowder. He went for 14 in this game here. Stepped up. They needed a guy to step up in a situation in this game here. No Giannis, no Middleton, and that's what Crowder did. 14 points off the bench there. 4 for 9 from the floor. He was 2 for 6 from downtown, 4 for 5 from the free throw line. So good stuff there out of Jay Crowder coming off the bench. And then we saw just mixed points here and there. Livingston had 1, 5 from Connington, 2 from AJ Green. Ajax gets in there for 5 points in this one. Played 10 minutes. So good stuff there out of Ajax and this Bucks bench there. I mean, this game all the way around, Bucks 43 for 84 from the field in this one. They shot 51%, held the Magic to 46% from the field. Looking at the three-point line, 15 for 40. It's not great, but it's not bad, right? It's right in the middle. It's good. It's a good performance there from the three-point line, 37% there from downtown, and 16 for 20 from the free throw line, 80% there from the line. The Magic, they only shoot 69% from the free throw line, 16 for 23, 11 for 30 from the three in this one, 36% for the Magic there. Rebounding, the Bucks they out-rebounded this Magic team 43 to 34 in this one, 10 offensive rebounds for the Bucks. I love that. I love a team that gets after the offensive glass, gets after teams, and I think that's what the Bucks did in this one. You look across the board there, 2 from Portis, Lopez, and Beverly in this one, offensive rebounds. Jay Crowder, 2 offensive rebounds. And then you had Ajax and also Pat Connaughton getting after the boards there. A couple of offensive rebounds there collectively in this one. Bucks, 12 turnovers in this game. Nothing, not good, not bad right there. 9 steals, though, for this Bucks team and 4 blocks on the game. Lopez with 3 blocks there in this ball game. Good stuff all the way around from the Bucks in this one as they pull off the 117 to 99 win with no Giannis, with no Middleton. This is a Magic team that was right on their tail in the standings right now, and the Bucks took care of business as they had to in this game here. The Bucks will be in action next. That'll be coming up on Friday. They will be traveling to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder in that game, 7 o'clock start. We'll get more into that for the weekend preview on the show tomorrow here. And then they'll wrap up the season on Sunday there against the Magic. They'll travel to Orlando for that game there. So good stuff coming out of the Bucks there. The good/bad news was basically just the Giannis situation, not knowing when Giannis will. We aren't sure. We aren't sure when Giannis will return to the lineup. Hopefully, we're hoping first game of the playoffs, he's back, he's ready to rock and roll, but is that far-fetched? It all is going to hinge on how does it heal? How fast does it heal? How does he work with it? And is it bad? How bad is it, right? Because you can have a little bit worse. You can have a little, not better, but, in that sense, able to heal a little bit faster. So how does this injury nag on Giannis here moving forward? That's going to be a big question mark heading into the playoffs. We're not worried about the regular season, right? Regular season, that's wrapped up for Giannis. We won't see him again in the regular season, but heading towards the playoffs here, how does that injury, how does it affect Giannis heading into the playoffs there? That's big question mark number 1. Looking at it right now, I've seen all the way around there people talking about this Bucks team, and with that injury to Giannis now, Middleton's always up in the air. You don't know. Right now, I think he's out with a broken tooth. He had a tooth knocked out, and he left the game the other night, and we haven't seen much of Middleton since. So, what do we get out of Middleton come playoff times? So, a lot of people are looking at the Bucks and they're saying, is this Bucks team an easy out? Are they going to be an easy out in the playoffs there in the first round? They might have the likes of the Miami Heat or the 76ers playing in that first round series. 2 teams, the Miami Heat know how to play the Bucks, right? Spoelstra knows how to deal with these Bucks. And 76ers, they're healthy now, right? We saw the 76ers coming after the All-Star break without Joel Embiid. Now Joel Embiid's back. How does that change the way that the Bucks are able to play against this 76ers team? So a lot of things hinging on, 100% what the health status is of Giannis Antetokounmpo heading towards playoffs and what Middleton can give come playoff times. That's my big take on, are the Bucks going to be an easy out? Because if you get these guys flowing, honestly, you get these guys cooking like it was supposed to, right? And I know you're like, what, like it was supposed to? What do you mean? Like it was supposed to. When you signed Damian Lillard, when you traded for Damian Lillard, and you added him with Giannis and Middleton, and you said to yourself, I just built myself a championship roster. I don't believe it's actually played up to the standards of what they expected. when they got Dame. So how does this Bucks team play come playoff times? Because there's a lot of people out there who are telling me, just wait. Playoff, a lot of teams like to lag it during the regular season and, dog it a little bit. And once playoffs come, then they turn it on. Okay. I believe you, but I got to see it. Right? I got to see it. I'm not gonna be the guy who's gonna sit here and I'm not gonna give you the, I listened to a couple of different shows today and the optimistic look, right? Oh my gosh, it's not so bad, everything like that. I'm not gonna sit here and give you the bull crap answer, right? We've seen this Bucks team struggle. I listened to a show today where they were talking about the 4-game losing streak for the Bucks and basically saying like it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, that 4-game losing streak. You can go through losing streaks in a season. That's okay. I'm not saying you can't. But when you lose a 4-game stretch and 3 of those teams are to non-playoff teams, that's where an issue lies. That's where a problem is. That's where the problems come from, right? And, I mean, you look at it as a collective whole, they lost at one point 6 of 7. 6 of 7 games. And in there you had the Pelicans and the Lakers. You had the Hawks, but then you had the Wizards, and you had a team like the Memphis Grizzlies, Toronto, and the Knicks in that stretch. 3 of those games, you look at the Memphis, Toronto, and Knicks game, was at the Pfizer. You played at home. You had those guys coming to your place. And they just, took everything that you wanted to do. And they out-hustled you. They gave more efforts. And it's like the crowd was behind them. The crowd wasn't behind them, right? But it just seemed like it because it was like they had the energy. For some reason, the Bucks didn't. So I'm not going to give you the optimistic, like, oh, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Everything's going to be A-okay with the world. Don't worry about it so much. I'm going to worry a little bit. I'm going to tell you that now. They have given me, outside of the win against the Celtics and the Magic, which were 2 good wins, right? Very good wins. But outside of that, this team is a roller coaster. They are a roller coaster out there in the basketball court. Inconsistent. And for people to sit there and tell me that, why are you worried? Everything's going to be okay. They'll turn it on in the playoffs. They'll turn it on. Do you think, I've said it before, do you think Michael Jordan just turned it on in the playoffs? No. He had it on all season long. It's possible, right? But it's not that easy. And the little things are what's killing this Bucks team. I don't look at these other teams and I say, they're dogging it. They're just dogging it out there. I think the Celtics do at times because they're bored. I was talking to one of my good buddies there, Kyle Edwards from Chomping on the Bit podcast, and he's a part of a bunch of different ones, Integrity Sports Network there that I'm on for the baseball show, and he was talking about this Celtics team that night they played the Bucks, and listening to him, and he's a big Celtics fan, and he said it's like the Celtics are bored at times. They win so many games, and it's like they get bored, and they just start dogging it because it's like, who cares? We want competition here, but nobody's giving us that competition, right? And I thought about it, and I was like, yeah. I've seen the Celtics team full bore blow teams out of the water. We saw that against the Golden State Warriors. They blew them out of the water and didn't look back. So, I get when people say that, hey, you're not giving it all, you're going to give it all in the playoffs. Okay, but I got to see it. I got to see this team flip a switch come playoff times. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's impossible. But what I'm going to say is I got to see it. I got to 100% see it before I'm going to believe it. Because right now what I see on the court, 1-2 games in a row, right? You can't. They've played well in these last 2 games. But I look at the games before that. And I look at the inconsistencies throughout the season. And I say to myself, okay, what Bucks team shows up playoffs? That's number one. Number one question. What Bucks team shows up? That's where I stand on, are the Bucks going to be an easy out? That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now. I got to see this team play at what I believe is their full potential for me to 100% say, yeah, I don't think this team can make it, or I believe this team can make it. Because, besides from, I don't know. I don't know. I've thought about it, and I've tried to come up with my opinion on it, but it's like, how do you make up an opinion on a roller coaster team? It's hard. It's hard to make up an opinion on that. because, like I said, it depends on what team shows up game one of the playoffs there. No matter who they play, it just depends on what team shows up. So, I mean, that's about all I got for the Bucks. I just want to get into that a little bit. I saw that conversation going around on a couple of social media feeds today, so I just had to get into it a little bit there and talk about it. But with that, I want to mention a couple of our sponsors here quick before we move on. First, Game Day Supply in Onalaska. Do you have a sports club or team? Are you looking for some sweet custom uniforms or apparel? Check out the awesome crew at Game Day Supply in Onalaska to help your team get the sweetest gear. Find them on Facebook at Game Day Supply or online at GameDaySupply.net. Also, Pittsville Farm and Home Center. At the store, they serve you anything from hydraulic hoses to red roses. Stop in and see the awesome crew at Pittsville Farm and Home Center in Pittsville, Wisconsin. Spring, I mean, we're getting 70 degrees outside right now. You got to get down there. They got, I mean, all your weed killers you could possibly need, mulches. They're going to have flowers down there at some point here. I wouldn't trust it yet, but, I mean, they're going to have them down there at some point here. They got it all down there. For all your home needs, improvement, whatever it is, they have everything you need down there at Pittsville Farm and Home. So check them out there in Pittsville, Wisconsin. Also, Marshfield Motor Speedway is located just 3 miles outside of Marshfield on County Road H. You got to get down there this summer. Tons of family fun for all ages. You got to get down there for some great racing and family fun. Tons of summer fun days and nights at the track there. So Marshfield Motor Speedway's there in Marshfield, Wisconsin. Look them up on, if you want to see the schedule, just check them out there on Facebook. Just search Marshfield Motor Speedways, or online, search Marshfield Motor Speedways. Go to their webpage. You'll find the schedule. You'll be able to figure out some dates that you can get down there to the track. But with that, I got to get to the Brewers. Good stuff happening with the Brewers last night. We had to wait. I believe it was about 2 hours before opening pitch. And, I mean, all was good. All was good. Brewers seemed like they were all for it. They got after it early on in this one. First inning, Christian Yelich goes deep. 2-0 lead for the Brewers there. And they never looked back after that. Good stuff there from the Brewers in this one. Just looking at the box here, we saw a fantastic pitching performance out of Wade Miley in this one in his return to the Brewers rotation there. Did have a start in the minors there, 3 innings, but getting him back to the big league level. 4 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned, 2 walks, no strikeouts in the game, but Miley pitched fantastic in his return for the Brewers. Actually had a no-hitter going into that, I believe it was that 4th inning there. He had a no-hitter going into it, and then, well, got a hit, and then run scored, but Brewers got out of it. Great defense by the Brewers in this one. Joey Ortiz, I mean, dude had 3/4 of the balls hit to him in this one, and Joey Ortiz played fantastic. Up the middle, great stuff from the Willie Adames and Terang in this one, and then you look at center field there with Blake Perkins. He played fantastic in this game in center, ran down a lot of tough balls out there, and Jake Bauers at first base there had a great diving stab over there, couple of great picks over there. Jake Bauers played really well at first base in this one, and you can't, I mean, this is something that really, when you watch these games, you don't look at it as much, but William Contreras behind the plate. William Contreras, I mean, the things that he does, the little things, right? You don't notice them, but framing pitches, working with these pitchers, calling games, and calling fantastic games, I may add, because a lot of the locations, I mean, great stuff. So when you watch this, I mean, really when you watch William Contreras there, just really pay attention to the little things that he does throughout a game there, right? And I mean, you look at when Ellie De La Cruz got on base there, I believe it was later in the ball game there, that Ellie got on first there, and William tried to back pick him, like he was going for the back pick. And it held Ellie De La Cruz there. Next pitch was a ground ball, and the Brewers were able to turn 2. I thought that was great, because now that you have it in Ellie De La Cruz's head, and I mean, he's going to steal the base if he wants to steal a base, right? I mean, the guy's got wheels on top of wheels, so he's going to take off no matter what. But to have in the back of his mind, like, hey, Contreras is watching me. Like, if I get a little too far off and I don't go, he's going to pick me, right? And I thought that was great stuff. And seeing William do that kind of thing this year versus what he was doing last year, I mean, he was good defensively last year. I'm not going to say he wasn't, but we didn't see a lot of those back picks last year. This year, he's not worried. He'll back pick anybody. He'll give it a shot. And, I mean, good stuff. I love what I'm seeing out of William Contreras. You listen to him, and I've listened to a lot of the interviews with him. This guy wants to be the best catcher in the league. Well, hands down. Not just hitting, but defensively too. He wants to be the top-notch guy above everybody else. He wants to set the standard for what it's supposed to be. And I love that. And I hope William Contreras is around for a long time in a Brewers uniform, because it has been fantastic what we've seen so far out of him in his short career with Milwaukee so far. I mean, he's only been for a year now. And the Brewers, I can't imagine they don't love what they got out of William. At the plate, behind the plate, whatever it is. Even on his off days, he's still in the lineup. You can't take this guy out of the lineup. He's just great all the way around. So good stuff there out of William Contreras. But going back to the box in this one, looking at the hitters for the Brewers in this one, Churro, he led off for the Brewers, 1 for 3 in this one with 2 RBIs, a walk, a strikeout, 2 runs scored. Contreras, 1 for 4, 2 RBIs in this one. Yeah, I believe he has a 7-game hit streak right now. After that hit last night, there's a 7-game hit streak for Contreras there. He's sitting at 364. Yelich, 1 for 4 with that home run there, a 2-run shot. 2 RBIs in the game, a walk and a strikeout in this one. He's got that average sitting at 316. Adames 0 for 4 in this one. Frelick 0 for 4 in this one. Bauers 0 for 3, but he did score a run there for the Brewers. Blake Perkins. I mean, a home run in this one. Perkins has been hitting the ball well. The Brewers are running into a good problem. Too many guys hitting the baseball, right? Because right now, I mean, you have Sal. Outside of this game here, he was hitting 324 going into this one. And then you have the likes of Blake Perkins. You have Yelich. You have Churro. You have all those guys hitting. That's a good problem to have if you are the Brewers right now. Fantastic stuff there. Perkins goes deep in this one, 1 for 2, 2 runs scored. He had a hit in this one, 1 RBI, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Joey Ortiz, he keeps the bat going, 1 for 4 in this one. And Bryce Terang stays hot. Simple as that. Bryce Terang in this one, 1 for 4, 1 run scored, 2 strikeouts in this one, but Bryce Terang hitting the baseball and at a high clip right now. Good stuff out of Bryce Terang. He's carrying around that 342 batting average right now. Blake Perkins actually got his batting average up to 400 in that one. Limited at bats on the season, but still 400 average. Nothing to shake your head at all there. Like I said, Miley started this one. Bryce Wilson, he came in relief, 3 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 strikeout, 1 home run given up. Good stuff out of Bryce Wilson. He gave up that home run there to Ellie De La Cruz there. Outside of that, not much to shake your head at. I mean, it was all the way around good stuff out of Bryce Wilson there. 3 innings of relief there, and he dealed. He dealed well in this one. Howie Milner then came in for the 8th inning, 1 inning, zeros across the board, and JB Buckus came in the 9th there. 1 inning, 1 strikeout for JB in this one. Good stuff there out of the Brewers. They held the Reds in check in this one. 4 hits for the Reds in total. Ellie De La Cruz with 2 of them, and then Fairchild, and I believe it was India, had the 2 other hits for this Reds team. Brewers hold this very hot Reds team, and we saw it in the first 2 games of the series. This is a hot lineup, just like the Brewers, and the Brewers pitching staff held them in check. That was fantastic stuff there. Brewers got to Hunter Green in this one. 6 innings, 6 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, 2 home runs given up there. Brewers struck out a lot in this game here. I believe it was 12. Yeah, 12 strikeouts in this game. Brewers struck out a lot, but hey, I mean, you can't shake your head at putting up 7 runs there on the flip side of that. So good stuff there. Hunter Green takes the loss for the Reds in this one. Farmer then came in an inning of relief, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And then we saw Brent Suter, the Raptor. I believe his walk-up, if I'm not mistaken, his walk-out song for pitching was MC Hammer. I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, I miss the days with the Raptor, the Jurassic Park theme song at American Family Field, but he's got MC Hammer going on down there in Cincinnati. But good stuff there. Brent Suter had a good outing for the Reds there. 2 innings, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. So Brewers get the win, 7-2. 7-2 against these pesky Reds there down in Cincinnati. That sets up the finale there. The Brewers can take the series here. 3 out of 4. That would be fantastic. That would be fantastic stuff, but you at least with yesterday's win, guarantee yourself a series split there. So what we're going to see tomorrow there is a 12-10 start there for that game. Freddie Peralta taking on Nick Martinez for the Reds there. Freddie Peralta on the season so far, he's sitting at that 1-0 record with a 3.09 ERA, 15 strikeouts. Martinez heading into this one, 7.20 ERA, 9 strikeouts on his young season there. Looking at the matchups here, everybody's seen Freddie. Not a lot of success against Freddie. I mean, you're looking at guys up and down this order. Tyler Stevenson's 333, but the rest of them are below 200, with some guys batting nothing against Freddie Peralta. So good stuff there for Freddie going up against this lineup. For the Brewers going up against Martinez, Yelich has had the most experience against Martinez. 10 at-bats there. He's got no RBIs and no home runs against him there. But looking at that average, he's sitting at that 300 average there. So good stuff there. Sanchez, 4 at-bats, 3 RBIs, a home run, 500 average. And then we have Frelick. He's seen him once. He's got 2 RBIs in his 1 at-bat against him there. Monasterio's seen him 1 time. He's got a hit against him there. And William Contreras in 4 at-bats. He's got an RBI and a 500 average. So good stuff there out of this Brewers team heading up into this matchup here against the Reds pitcher Martinez in this one. Brewers, if you want to watch the game, Bally Sports Wisconsin. Otherwise, WTMJ there, 620. Wherever you get the Brewers locally, you'll be able to check out this game. Brewers-Reds series finale before the Brewers will head even farther out east, and they will take on the Baltimore Orioles. And, well, that's going to set up DL Hall against his former team on Friday. Good stuff there. We got Jackson Holliday. He's made his Major League debut there. I believe that was last night there. Yeah, that was last night there against the Red Sox. I don't believe he got a hit in that first appearance, but that will be his first appearance there at Camden Yards. So good stuff there out of the Brewers and Reds series. But with that, before we move on here and get into the last topic of the day, I just wanted to mention a couple more of our sponsors here quick. First, your hometown team, Century 21 Gold Key Realty. Call Peggy, Sue, or Anna to find your dream home, or if you're looking to sell. Find them on Facebook at your hometown team, Century 21 Gold Key Realty, or stop in and see them at their location in Marshfield. Also, Sports Scene, sports cards, and memorabilia. Stop in there in the Marshfield Mall and see Al. He's got everything you need, from sporting cards to memorabilia to jerseys, model stock cars, everything you need down there. So check them out there, Sports Scene in Marshfield. Also, Sport and Spine Clinic in Greenwood, Wisconsin. If you've been injured recently, whether it was at work, on the baseball field, on the softball field, whether you were in an alumni tournament and got hurt, whatever it was, and you need some physical therapy, stop in there and see Chad down at Sport and Spine Clinic. He'll get you right. He'll get you back to work, back on the court, back on the field, whatever it is. He'll get you back there. Sport and Spine Clinic in Greenwood, Wisconsin. But with that, we got to get into my last topic of the day here. A little bit shorter today. A little bit shorter. But hey, that's because, as I've told you guys in the past, I shoot these episodes at night, and I release them the next day, right? I don't have all the time in the world. I got a day job. I'm not like some of these other podcasters out here. I'm not like the radio guys. I got my day job that pays for this job, right? And so, shooting this late at night here, it's okay. It's about 10:45 right now as I'm shooting this, and I got to be up by about 5 in the morning here for work. So I got to get this thing done and over with, get her edited and sent out there so everybody can listen tomorrow there. But I got my last topic of the day here, and that is the Packers. The Packers have been confirmed week 1 of this NFL season. They will be heading to Brazil, and they will be taking on the Eagles down there. So, I mean, if you like that, if you don't like that, I don't know. I asked the question out there on Facebook today. So I just wanted to get to a couple of the answers that I got, from Facebook for this one here. Looking at a couple of the answers I got. First off, my first answer came from Greg Radecki. He said, I think it's great. There's over a week off from the end of the preseason, so this isn't like a typical international game. Mid-year, game is on a Friday, so they'll have extra time before the following Sunday game. It's only 2 hours ahead of Central Time, so it doesn't have the jet lag or weird start time the London game would. It's not one of our home games and avoids playing having to play at the raucous Philadelphia crowd. Just because it's different or new doesn't mean it's stupid. The NFL is wisely trying to grow the game globally. More money for the league means more money for the teams and players, which means more money for the Green Bay economy. And the streaming service cheapstakes don't even have to pay extra for this one. Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. I agree. I agree with spreading the game globally. I just don't want to get to the point where we forget about the guys back home, right? That's the big thing that, I take out of it. Your season ticket holders, anything like that. And it doesn't affect the Packers this year, right? Because the Packers will play, they're going to have their full stretch of home games. This is an Eagles home game for this one. So in that aspect, yes. In that aspect, I agree with you. I just, is there a point where you've gone too far? That's where my biggest, I guess you would say, worry is for this expansion. Not expansion, but this going overseas and everything like that. Is there a point where it's going too far? So that would be my only worry with it. Is there a point that you can't cross, right? Where you get too many games overseas and stuff like that. And it affects fan bases, season ticket holders, everything like that. You don't want to get to that situation, right? So I 100% agree, though. You got to spread this thing. Globally. Makes you more money, brings more money home, adds more money to the pool there for the players and the teams and everything else. I 100% agree with that. So I 100% agree with you there. I just it's spreading the game is good. I don't want it to cross lines, right? Not border lines, right? We got to cross border lines to get there, but not lines where it's like, we're taking this a little too far, though. So I agree 100% with you, though, on that one. Agreed. Don't get me wrong. I agree with you on everything you just stated there. So moving on here, we had Andrea Nicole Baker said, just another money grab from the NFL because it's behind a paywall, Peacock, for those out of local areas. I saw it's on NFL Network, so I believe most people will be able to watch this game in some facet. So that's good. If they just had it on Peacock, I'm gonna get to there's a couple of comments in here where people do mess with the Peacock thing and dislike the Peacock thing. I get it. I get the dislike of Peacock and everything like that. I'm just gonna say that, when you exclusively only have it on Peacock, that takes away from, I could take it from perspective of even my family members, right? Not all my family members, not my grandma is not very tech savvy, right? She can't figure out how to work her smart TV. And I know people are going to say, who cares? First off, I don't care if you care what my grandma says. I care what she says. And if she can't get the game on, piss on all of you. That's where I'm at with that one, But, it's one of those things where you want to have it accessible to everybody, right? You got to look for fans. And I get it. We're living in an era where technology is huge and everything like that, and I get that. But you still want to have it be accessible to even your older fans, everybody like that. People who don't have access, maybe they just have access to cable, right? And they don't have a smart TV. They don't have a Roku Connect to their TV or a Fire Stick or whatever it is. They can't get Peacock, right? You still want to have games accessible to those people. So I don't dislike the Peacock, but I like the idea of giving other stream options, right? You got to have other stream options in there. I hate the games that are exclusively on Peacock because, I personally, I don't have direct dish or anything like that. I use Fubo TV, right? But when, let's just say, the Big Ten schedule this last year, the Badgers played games where they were exclusively on Peacock. And I love watching the Badgers. I watch every game. So I'm not going to miss out on one. So I have Peacock. Don't get me wrong, I have Peacock. But then, you get your people who love flip channels or everything like that, or you're surfing between game to game. You can't do that on Peacock because you're on one streaming service. That's how they keep you. They keep you there, right? You can't really flip off because otherwise you got to flip your back a channel. You got to go into a different whatever it is, and then come back to it. So I get the idea of it. I get the idea of using Peacock. I always want to see other streaming options. There are people out there who just have Peacock. They have a smart TV. They don't have live television or anything like that. So having it on Peacock does help out those people. So I can't say that in all facets it's not a good thing to have it on that kind of streaming option. But I believe you got to offer multiple if you're going to do it. I don't like the exclusively on Peacock thing. I wish, NFL Networks is going to have the Packer game here. So I think that's good. It'll also be on local stations. I like that. I like that ability that they're giving people to get into that game there. But, moving on here, a couple more. We saw Ray Lewis. Not Ray Lewis from the NFL, Ray Lewis. I'm not sure which Ray Lewis this is, but Ray Lewis said people are saying only Peacock. It beats playing Philly in Philly for their home game. I agree. It does really. It's better than playing in Philly because Brazil, as in a lot of foreign places, there's a lot of Packer fans there. There's a lot of Packer bars around the world there. So you're probably going to have a home crowd there down in Brazil there for this game against the Philadelphia Eagles. So it does. It 100% beats having to go to Philadelphia for that one. Dan Gianotti said, "Nope, NFL. Period." Oh. Okay. It goes along with Nate Hastings' comment who said, quitting the NFL. Yeah, there's people on the edge. There's people on the edge. There's people on the edge with all sports right now. You look at baseball, there's a lot of fans ticked off the pitch clock and everything like that. You look at college, there's a lot of people ticked off with the NIL and everything like that. So 100% agree there. 100% agree. There's a lot of people out there like that who don't like the way that some of these leagues are heading. It's a money-driven thing, and it's a business. It's a business, and either we get behind it or we stop watching. One of the two. One of the two, right? You can pick whatever you want. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it, but that's just me. You can pick whatever you want. I'm not going to knock you either way because I understand both sides of the coin there. But moving on here, there's a couple other comments I wanted to get to here on the post on Facebook there. And if I don't get to your comments, I'm very sorry for that. There's a lot of comments on here, so I'm trying to get to all of them that I can here. Not a fan. Mike Waterman says, not a fan of the overseas games. Players get jet lagged and sleep patterns are off. Food on the road sucks. It's not the International Football League. Go Pack, go. And then, I get it. I get the jet lag and, the time difference and everything like that. Like Greg said earlier there, looking at the time difference, it's not bad for this one. It's not like the London game, right? But it's not great. It's still, you're going to get affected there going to a foreign country. Like you said there, you don't know about the food. Food on the road sucks, right? He said it there in that comment. Maybe it does. Maybe that does affect teams like that. Sleep patterns, you don't know how it's going to change going to a different place. I don't know. It's interesting. It definitely is interesting. I don't know if there's a study that's been done yet. There's been a couple of overseas games done already. I don't know if there's a study that's been done. I know they study basically everything. So I don't know if there's been a study that's been done that says player performance is actually worse when they go overseas or anything like that. I don't know. I have not. That's something to look up because I bet somebody's done the research on it to give us their answer there. So Daryl Malone said complete BS plus only way to he said complete BS. So yeah, there's a lot of people who don't like it. They don't like the idea of going overseas or not. Well, it's not really. I don't know. Would you count it overseas? Straight down? You cross an ocean to get there, right? You cross the Gulf to get down to South America there. So I don't know. I don't know what you count that, but I get a lot of people are upset with the deal there. Jeff McHugh, he said in Brazil don't matter, but the BS of now having to pay for what was free for decades really sucks. Yeah, I get it. I get 100%. I like I've said, I've seen on different social media platforms and also through research that the game will be on NFL Network, I believe, and also on local stations. So you'll at least be able to get the game. But yeah, I agree where some of the league games are heading right now. You have your Thursday night games that are on Amazon Prime exclusively. Like, if there's a lot of people out there with Amazon Prime. I get the Amazon Prime one, right? I agree with that one because if we did a poll, right? A poll out there. And we did a poll and asked everybody, hey, do you have any of these different subscriptions? From Peacock to Amazon Prime and you can go down a list. I guarantee you Amazon Prime wins it. If not like Netflix or Hulu or whatever. But if you just asked Amazon Prime to Peacock, I guarantee you Amazon Prime wins that. Because Amazon Prime, everybody's got it for their packages, right? Everything's easier to order online. So you have Amazon Prime. You get the free shipping. You get everything like that. You get Prime included with that. So everybody's got Amazon Prime. I would completely understand if they put games on Amazon Prime. I mean, you can still put it on local TV and everything like that. I'm not saying you can't. But Peacock is one of those tougher ones, right? Because if you get Peacock, unless you want to watch some of these sitcoms or anything else that's on there, you're getting it exclusively just to watch that sport game. And then, I mean, I have a buddy of mine I work with. He's got, I think he said like 11 or 12 different emails to sign up for the 12-day or 7-day free trial for Peacock. And then, so he's out of emails that he can try. He's out of emails to use to get the free trials there. So, I mean, that if you do that, that sucks in that aspect. Because, like I said, I mean, look at the Badgers this last season. They had, I believe, in a 3-week stretch, they played like 4 games on Peacock. I know the Big Ten's getting big into Peacock games. And then you look at the football schedule. They had some games on Peacock. I can only imagine how many more will be on there now. So it's going to be something interesting to see what these leagues and, I mean, college sports, whatever it is, what they do to accommodate the fans, if anything, at some point here. So with that, that's about all I got for today. We got into the Packers-Brazil game. I mean, that should be exciting, right? It should be an exciting game, getting to see the Packers play on a global stage. Also, I mean, we got into the Bucks. We got into the Brewers. Brewers back in action today. 12-10 start for that one. Freddie Peralta going up against Martinez. Good stuff there. But outside of that, that's about all I got for today. This has been Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trade. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Thursday. But until I catch you guys back here on the show tomorrow for the weekend preview, deuces.